Hi guys, I had a minute to come on here and share some of my favorite music artists, podcasts, preachers, and just influencers. I remember when I first came to know the Lord, I was stepping into a whole new world because the Holy Spirit gave me a sensitivity to sin, so I didn't want to listen to the same music that I had already been listening to all throughout my teenage years. And it was a journey finding music that I liked and that pointed to the Lord instead of the opposite way. And it's been 13 years since I came to know the Lord, so the music's changed a little bit. Like, I used to listen to Lecrae and Annie Mineo and Tripley and KB, and I still listen to like Andy Mineo, but there's so many other artists that I love, and I love music, and I don't really watch like movies or shows. Sometimes I throw on like a kids movie, like The Croods or The Little Rascals, but besides that, like, the only entertainment I watch really are Christian influencer podcasts on YouTube, things that have sustenance and, wisdom. So I wanted to share some of those people and podcasts so that for anybody who is a new Christian or they don't have the music they like yet, they can, check some of this stuff out. And I also wanted to say that in my previous videos, I recorded and it showed like my whole face and like part of my body, but when I uploaded to YouTube, it cut off like a good portion of it on the bottom. So I'm trying to like record it differently right now, and that's why I'm holding the phone, so I'm so sorry if it's kind of shaky. But anyways, let's jump into my favorite music artists. I love music. I love putting it on in the morning to, kind of just block out the enemy and strengthen myself in praising. And my kids love it. It just sets our day up so well. So first of all, if you know me or if you've been following me, I love Caleb Gordon and his wife VALERIN. Caleb Gordon, I listen to him probably almost every day. He is just on fire for the Lord through his music, and I used to listen to rap and kind of hip hop, like Nicki Minaj and Lil Wayne. So I was already used to listening to like rap. So I love to listen to Christian rap, and I love that there's good Christian rap. It's not corny, and it sounds so good, and I just love to blast it in my car. So besides Caleb Gordon, I love Alex Jean, HULVEY, Andy Mineo, 1K PHEW, STEDI, I think I'm saying that right, STEDI, it's SSTEDI, her voice is amazing. Seven and Vinny Harris, they are amazing. My daughter loves Seven Harris, and his dad, Vinny Harris, he goes by VINNYLOVESJESUS, makes so much good music, and they do collabs a lot. CHILDLIKECICI, I've just been listening to her rap, which is crazy authority rap, love it. SCOOTIE WAP and his wife AVERY DOREEN, AVERY DOREEN's voice, amazing. LANELL Grant, I think I'm saying that right, she raps. MINNICK, NOBIGDYL, he makes some good rap, I love it. D2 Viral, I learned of D2 Viral through a live, I believe, that Seven and Vinny had, and they were like asking artists to like send in some music to them, and so I found him probably a year ago, and he's just been putting out so much fire. Like, the song that I initially heard, I immediately took it to my husband and my son, and we just danced to it. It was so good. VINNISAY, I think that's how you say it. J. Manuel Riders. Riders is like an alternative Christian artist. And I used to listen to like Taking Back Sunday, The Used, Brand New, and Saves the Day, and Dashboard Confessional. So to be introduced to some really amazing alternative artists, and I learned of writers through YOST and Ashley Hetherington's podcast Jesus Freaks. They play music in their I don't know if you would call it a show or a podcast, but they came out with this show called Jesus Freaks, and they play amazing music throughout it, and at the end they list the artists and the song. So that's how I came to know of writers. Maverick City, NAOMI, RAINE, and I listened to a little bit of ZAUNTEE, some of his songs. So definitely check them out. 1K PHEW, he's hilarious. My daughter loves 1K PHEW. I don't know why. Well, because he's awesome, but it's just funny that she's like 2 years old and she loves 1K PHEW. And he also is just like very creative and funny. So I'll go on to first I want to say, before I go to the podcasts, because there's a lot, I want to say my top 3 preachers that I like to listen to on YouTube are Todd White, Dan Mohler, oh my gosh, he discipled Todd White. So Paul Washer's The Shocking Youth Message changed my life. Like, I think that was one of the things that God used to show me that I wasn't saved and I needed to be saved. So I love Paul Washer, and I'll always love Paul Washer. So now I'll go on to podcasts. REALBIGNIK, Nick KESWANI, YOST, and Ashley Hetherington. I think I'm saying her last name right. YOST has a podcast, Christ with Coffee on Ice, and she collabed with her friend Ashley and came up with Jesus Freaks, which I just talked about. Angela SCAFIDI's Heaven and Healing podcast, Emmy Moore's Saved Not Soft podcast, and her fiance Malik Brookins. He's really awesome too. Bryce Crawford, one of my favorites. I love Bryce. He is just got a heart that is just like the Lord's heart. So, and his testimony is amazing. Mario ESPARZA Jr., such a good evangelist. He goes around even to like bodegas and gives his testimony, and just amazing. George Janko, he's great. He's so transparent, and he has a lot of great people on his show. Richard Lorenzo Jr. and his wife, I think her name's Carlene. Richard Lorenzo Jr.'s testimony and his wife's testimony are amazing, and they put out a lot of videos. They have a church called Rock Revival in Orlando, and they talk a lot about deliverance too, which is so crucial and something that I didn't know about until maybe the past 2 years. Girls Gone Bible. The 2 girls on there are Ariel Reitzma and Angela Halili. They look like twins. I do not know if they're even sisters, but they are so beautiful and they look just like twin sisters. And they actually gave a prayer for, I'm not exactly sure what event it was, but for some Trump's something. And it was beautiful. I cried. Whitney Davis, she's hilarious. I love her, and I think she just got married, so that's so cute. Mapalo, David Mapalo, he is super transparent and on fire for the Lord. He has a saying. What's his saying? I don't know. If my son was here, he'd be able to tell you, but he's awesome. Isaiah Saldivar, he speaks on deliverance a lot, which I love. Bo Diddle, He's Christian, and he's something that I watch sometimes, but I have to be careful because it's kind of like a borderline making fun of liberals, but at the same time, not really. He does talk to them and get their perspective, and it's good to know. It's good to have an understanding for other people's perspectives and their experiences. Ruslan, the professor, which is the basketball player. He played for And One. I love watching him. My son loves watching him. My son plays basketball and football, so we like to watch him. Mike Signorelli, Kibby Linga. She's a occult abuse survivor. Her family was like doing occult practices, and the Lord protected her through that, protected her from being in agreement with that. And I love her. And I pray for her healing, her continued healing, and her continuing to raise awareness on that. God Logic, his name is Avery, and Sam Shamoon and Vocab Malone. They're all pretty tied together. And they teach so much on, like, how to talk to people of other religions. And Sam Shamoon is just, like, mind-blowing. His level of knowledge and his boldness. He's not afraid to, like, be like, I will hang up on you right now. So, Ariel Fitz. I wrote all this stuff down because I couldn't remember it. Jackie and Preston Perry. I've been watching that Jackie Hill Perry for a long time. They started off doing poetry performances, and amazing. Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens. Sadie Robertson Huff now, because she's married, and just the whole Duck Dynasty family. I love them. Somewhat listen to Tim Ross a little bit. I used to more, but I don't as much because I'm a little weary, but I'm still open. So now I'm going to go over to influencers and wrap this up. Dennis Garcia, Rich with Passion. His name's Richard. Richard Matthews. Matthew Hudson, he's hilarious. Carew Ellington, he's another friend of Allie Yost and Ashley Hetherington, and he's awesome. Brittany Dawn Nelson, she's about to have her first baby that she's been praying for and struggling for through miscarriages and failed adoptions. So I've been following her, and I'm so grateful for the blessing that she has. Joshua JT Watchman, love him. He's hilarious, and I just love his personality. Like I said, Ashley Hetherington, I mentioned her a lot of times. Cassie Blanco, I think her handle is It's Cassie. Christian Mims, I think that's actually his name. At first, I thought that was just like his page name, but he's cool. He has, since he's been very young, been speaking for Jesus and for the gospel. Russell Brand, I think it's so amazing that he's so well spoken and creative, and he knows the Lord now. How amazing. And another one is Kat Von D. She knows the Lord now. Amazing. And I love her. I've always loved her makeup brand. Susie Lamb, beautiful inside and out. And so is her husband, Jonathan. Keenan Clark, John Ramirez. His testimony's awesome. And last but not least, Lil James Tucker. Shout out Lil James Tucker. He is young and on fire for the Lord. So yeah, I hope this blessed somebody. I'm gonna write all of this in the description because how are you gonna remember all that? And I would like for people to be able to go to the description and, see how their names are spelled in reference to all that. So thank you guys for listening, and I hope that this blessed you somehow. God bless you. I love you.